I think largely the kind of music that we do is the main reason why everybody stuck around for a long time. Everybody musically and otherwise liked and respected each other for a long time, and that's why they stayed along. And everybody was old enough to be a little bit more mature, so that random egos would not stall the larger picture. So the larger picture for everybody, the four of us, was that I think this music is cool. We like what we're doing. We haven't heard anybody else do this kind of music, so let's carry on and let's do this. So there were always disruptions, and there were fights and arguments, but everything had a limit to it, because the larger picture was that the music and what we are doing as a collective is far greater than petty differences. So at one point you had to stop, and that's what we did, and I think that's how it carried on for such a long time.
I walked into a band with the name Indian Ocean. So the story I have is from Shushmit and Ocean. And that is that once they had formed the band in 1990, I think February or March, they were looking for a name. And they were having some sort of brainstorming session. I think all kinds of rubbish names were being thrown out.
Nashville Gharana. Can you imagine? Nashville Gharana. I mean, it's just too wannabe. And such other bad names were being thrown at people. When Shushmit's father, I think, put out this name called, how about Indian Ocean?
And everybody there said, yeah, great. That's it. So there's no big theory, or it's just somebody's suggestion.
Years later, when we did the kind of music that we did, it seems right. It seems that the name was right.
When Shushmit and Ocean started the band, Shalin was the drummer, and they ran through a whole series of bass players. And there was a keyboard player, Savanda, but there was no one in the band with whom I played only one show.
Everybody has varied musical influences and journeys as their individuals. All of us were very keen not to take the easy way out. You know, we can easily hit a few chords and make a song. The big difference in everybody was that as a collective, as the four of us together and individually, all of us really did not want to take that easy way out and just, make a simple song with, or a very difficult song with just a chord pattern and, just be in the business by making a good song. We wanted to make different songs and we wanted to do something else.
Band is comprised of various members. Each member has his or her own inspirations and likes and dislikes, and they're far and varied because as far as I'm concerned, I love ghazals and I love semi-classical music, and I've learned a bit of classical music. Western music especially has not been my forte, though I like country. Okay, if that being the case, and I like a bit of jazz. That is my personal reference. So Rest of the band, like Nikhil, he hears everything, absorbs a lot from different genres of music. Amit has his own likes and dislikes. Rahul has huge, humongous spectrum of music that he likes and dislikes. Tumeen is the only one, I think, who's very well trained in classical tabla, percussion, Indian percussion.
We don't have any one particular influences. I mean, everybody will have their own influences. I have heard a lot of Bollywood since I was a kid, and of late I've started listening to a lot of classical, Indian classical music. Now I think that's the only genre that I listen to. During my college, when I started learning again, so I started listening again to classical music, and now I don't think I listen to any other genre.
The market for indie music is expanding. We are on the up, right? We are having a bull run, right?
So the current scenario is really interesting. We get to sample the scenario when we go and play at music festivals, because usually all the year round we're doing our shows. So it's just Indian Ocean. We play our show, we do our thing, and we go back, we take the flight the next day.
The indie music scene is ever expanding. We have big festivals, we have great venues to play in India now.
And there's a lot of interesting music that is happening. I think one important way in which the scene has changed is that everybody wants to do their own songs now. And so there's a great emphasis on originality. In fact, there are some festivals that are built around, original music and producing and making that kind of music.
And the big thing that's happening is that the younger Indian musicians are not afraid to take that leap, to make that jump and say, okay, we will be musicians. Otherwise, everybody wanted to have a job and also do music, and then ultimately leave music because that was not going to help at all. First international tour was the Edinburgh Fringe Festival in 2001, if I'm not mistaken. I think 2001. It was a difficult thing to come up with. We played, I think, 21 shows in 18 days. It's a great place, but it's also a tough place because there's like thousands of acts during that 3-week or whatever, 2.5 week period at the festival.
But we played for 3 weeks straight, every day, and we won something called the Pick of the Fringe award. There was one point where we played 4 concerts in 25 hours. So we did our gig and went and played at another place which finished at 3 in the morning. Came back home, carried all our stuff up 3 flights of stairs, and then at 10 in the morning we had to report at another place to play. We went there to play, at which point we discovered that one of Shushmit's strings, the key had snapped, the tuning key had snapped. So it couldn't be tuned. So whatever that was in, it came down by 3. So from E it came down to C sharp. So we tuned everything down to C sharp. And luckily the strings did not buzz, and we played in that pitch. And then we went back to the music shop, got it repaired, and came back and did a regular gig. So that was 4 concerts in 25 hours. I've never done that before, and I hope to never do it again. So that was our first tour. It was quite a learning experience.
After that, ready, we had even practiced picking up our instruments and putting them on stage and bringing them out, because we had 1 hour in which we had to bring in our equipment from outside stage, set up, sound check, play and get out. So we had actually made a small space like the stage in Delhi in our place, and we were rehearsing every day with a watch. So bang, and we go pick up our instruments, set up, play, take them out. So such was the level of practice you had to do to crack that festival. And so great fun. One of the better moments of being in the band.
Early days, we had lots more time. There was no concert. Nobody's calling you. So you're meeting a lot, and you're also hanging around. So all that interaction, personal bonding, whatever. So it came back to that in 2013. And then, of course, Badalu happened.
Indian Ocean did their first album in 92-93, and then in 93 Shaleen the drummer left, and Indian Ocean was a proper four-man band by 92-93 because all that flux had stopped by 92. Rahul had joined and the other guys had gone away. So there was Rahul, Ashim, Shushmit and Shaleen. That went through 92 and 93. 93 December, I think December or November sometime then, Shaleen decided to leave. Music was, I think, as a band was getting too difficult to do. So he decided to leave and I joined early 94. So from 94 till 2009, there were just the four of us. Shushmit, Ashim, Rahul and I.
And I think because of this diverse likes and dislikes, a new flavor emerges, which is not flavor of one person or two people. It's a flavor of everybody coming together, making something with those subtle influences that are there in the back of the mind and which forms their kind of music. And that gives the band its own beautiful sound, and that's what its Indian Ocean is.
यार मैं कॉलेज से निकला था, इधर उधर भटक रहा था कि क्या करना है लाइफ में, एंड आई जॉइंड इंडियन ओशन. दिस वाज बियॉन्ड माय इमेजिनेशन. मैं शायद भगवान से इतना मांगता ही नहीं होऊंगा उस टाइम पे कि यार इंडियन ओशन में बजाऊंगा, फिर ऐसे आर्टिस्ट के साथ बैठूंगा, उनके साथ गाना बजाना होगा, उनके साथ हैंग आउट करना होगा, मजाक कर रहे हैं, जोक सुनाए जा रहे हैं, ये सब होगा. मैं कभी इमेजिन भी नहीं कर सकता था कि ये दिन मेरी लाइफ में कभी आएगा और इतनी जल्दी आ जाएगा.
I was a fan of this band for so long, and I was a huge fan of Sushmit Sen's style of guitar playing. To get to the stage where I was playing live with them, and we were hanging out, spending time together, that was beautiful. Just within 7 or 8 months of joining the band, our manager Dhruv and Amit Kilam put together this project of chalo collaborations karte hain. And the names, they are some of the biggest names in Indian music. And I wouldn't have ever, I would have just been happy shaking their hand at a concert. And to be actually in the room collaborating and as equals, as colleagues, because one thing about this room we are in right now where we make music is that everybody is an equal here. मतलब इसमें हम लोग इस room में एक बार आ जाते हैं तो I forget the fact that there's 25 years or 20 years of gap in experience in playing between me and Rahul or me and Himanshu or me and Amit.
So start ignition, count to 0. I just wanna be a superhero.